What's good with y'all? You know what it is. It's your boy, the chosen one, God's chosen son. And you may see in the background, we doing something a little bit different. This little workout compilation is gonna tie into the video, I promise. Today, let's talk about how to transmute negative things into your life into positive things, right? So, I wanna start out by basically saying this morning, man, was I tempted heavily. And I almost fell into the temptation, right? And I've gotten to this point with myself where my conviction is so high. Like before, I pulled myself up out of it before completely falling into it, but I was still angry. And this was like the first time I was probably like ever this mad at pulling myself up out the temptation. I went to pray and whatnot, and I was just angry, and I thought about that scripture, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. But I knew once I pulled myself out, I prayed, boom, I knew I had to get up out the crib. I knew I had to go do something. So this is where the background of this, video comes in. I decided to go to the gym. That's been a big help at transmuting something negative, which could be, anger. A lot of the times when we fall or when we about to fall or, when we convicted, right? A lot of the times we can be hard on ourselves. And it causes us, that anger will cause us to self-loathe. Now, I'm going to speak in regards to transmuting any negative emotion into positive. Not just this, but I'm going to use this as an example, starting out the video. So yeah, man, I'm pissed off with myself, because I felt like I shouldn't have even got to that point where I was even thinking about diving into the temptation. And I just wanted to be stronger. So I'm like, let me get up, let me go to the gym. And that's been a big way in me just processing my emotions in recent times, in the last couple months, really just hitting them weights. Sometimes it might be me writing a song or something like that, but bruh, what I want y'all to understand out there, the listeners, everything is energy. Everything has a spiritual ramification behind it. And spiritual energy is God. Now, it says God has no beginning or no end. You cannot destroy energy or create it. At least spiritual energy, It's other energies, obviously, kinetic potential, all of that type of stuff. But even with that, those are just two types of energies. Kinetic is just potential energy is just kinetic energy waiting to be used, right? Anyway, I'm not gonna get into the semantics. There is no creating or destroying energy. The only thing you can do is transmute it. Now, a lot of the times, what we do with this energy that we have, and we have these emotional states, right? Because your emotions are energy. What we do a lot of the times is a lot of people, they will use their energy the wrong way, in a negative way. They will try and suppress it. They would just let it burst out through wrath or, a billion different things. They would just let it fester within themselves until it becomes resentment, hatred, things like that. You have to understand, when it comes to this life we live in, you have to learn to transmute your energy into something positive if you want better things for your life. Now, how do we do that? First off, you have to recognize and understand the energy that you're putting out or that you're cultivating within yourself. That potential. If we look at it like when you holding something in, that's the potential energy within yourself. When you let it out or when you do an action with it, that's the kinetic. right? So we first have to be able to recognize within ourselves, okay, I feel like this. This is the energy, this the mood that's going on right this. I feel sad right now. I feel enthusiastic right now. I feel motivated right now. I don't feel motivated right now. I feel angry right now. I feel jealous right now. You have to be able to first identify those things, because that will show you what type of energy you're harboring in that moment. Now, when we feel good things such as, just being joyous, enthusiastic, inspired, motivated, it's easy to transmute that into better things. But where people have an issue, and I think this is where a lot of people fall into temptation too, is because the temptation is going to come when you're harnessing negative energy, when you don't feel so good. That's when Satan is going to use his demons to attack you at that moment, because you're at a low point. He's waiting for you to get to that low point emotionally in your mind. The sin starts in your mind. So it's way harder to transmute your energy, your negative energy, into something positive, into a positive action, when you don't sit there and you sit with it and recognize it. Now, let's just say you sad. Let's say you sad, right? You going through, it's one of them days, you don't know why you sad, you just hit. We all human beings, we have hormonal things that happen, both men and women. You just sad. All right, cool. A lot of the people will sit there, they go drink, smoke, rant, whatever. But have you ever thought about all of the possibilities you can do with that sadness? Like, okay, if you sad, instead of going and using a coping mechanism, get a journal, write that stuff down. Write your thoughts down. By the time you're done writing your thoughts down, you gonna feel 10 times better about it. Read it back through a couple of times, It don't always have to be you venting to somebody else and trying to have somebody validate whatever you feel. Or with anger, for example. If you angry, turn that into a burning desire, a motivation. Think about, what am I angry at? Why am I upset? For me, a lot of things in my life, I be mad at myself. And instead of me just being mad and hating myself, I just be like, man, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna better myself so I don't have to be mad at myself as often. I don't have to, look down on myself. If you depressed, go watch something or talk to somebody that's gonna make you laugh, rather than just sitting in that. A lot of the times we just wanna sit in it. Now, these things are hard to do. It take a lot of willpower. But you start off small. We gotta start off small, and we gotta start off recognizing the patterns, our emotional patterns and fluctuations. Because if we don't, Satan is a roaring lion seeking who he may devour. And we supposed to be sober-minded and vigilant. Now, you can be drunk off sadness, off anger, off jealousy, off envy, off gossip, off backbiting. We just had to figure out you just had to figure out a way in which to transfer and translate this energy, right? So, a big way on getting away from temptation and transferring it into inspiration is to find better things to do for yourself. Change your algorithms, change the things that you do, change the people you hang around. Find something creative to do to transmute that energy. Go paint, go draw, go make some music, go write. If for the women out there, you do hair, you do nails, hey, y'all be having them little Johnny joints, the mannequins and stuff. Get one of them and just Get to practicing. Let all your frustrations out there. You know, go do something productive with that energy. Even if it may be hard in that moment, it's like, I promise, anytime that I've felt like upset or any negative emotion, and I took that and I went and I just did something that benefited my life with that, while in that state, I felt like I conquered it. I wasn't a slave to it. Because what happens is we become a slave. We become a slave to our sin, and we become a slave to our emotions, our emotional states, when we don't know how to regulate. That's the word I'm looking for. But with that being said, I just wanted to come on here, drop a little bit of motivation for anybody that just need a little bit of help, you know, out there, a little bit of inspiration out there with, you know, controlling and regulating themselves in this time frame we live in, because God wants us to master ourselves. That's how we get past a lot of the temptation. And this morning I was feeling weak. It's gonna be days you feel strong. It's gonna be days you feel weak. It's gonna be days you feel neutral. But ultimately, me going to the gym and just transmuting all of that wrath I had towards myself and towards the sin and towards the temptation and all of this type of stuff, the disappointment I had, you know, ultimately I felt like I won in the end. I won a long fought battle, and realized we need days like those. You need moments where you're angry, upset, disappointed, you know, all of this type of stuff, just because it makes, if you don't have those, then you don't know what it's like to feel joy, you know, feel happiness, elation, you know, feel peace. They go hand in hand as balance. So understand, it's normal to feel those types of things. It's normal to have negative emotions. Don't let them rule you though. With that being said, it's your boy, the chosen one, God's chosen son. I'm signing out.